Good morning, guys, and happy Thursday, and welcome back to the Breakfast Show. Thanks to our sponsor Sage for sponsoring the show. It's great to have you guys on board. Today is one of my favourite days because we have people in with a product. Not to put anyone else off doesn't have products, we love you too. But when someone brings in a product that is slick, the design is great, it's functional, we love it. It's the best thing ever. The two Matts from Rockit, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
I love this. Love it.
You get that reaction a lot.
Yeah, but no, when you see, because obviously we've seen demos and we had to play around with it before the show. It just works so well. So look, before I go rambling about how cool it is, what does it do?
It's called Rockit, and it rocks it. It's a portable baby rocker which attaches to pushchairs and prams. You turn it on, and it gently mimics that side-to-side motion that a baby experiences when it's pushed along. So what a lot of parents experience is that when they're pushing a baby in a pushchair, as soon as they stop to do something, baby wakes up. Yeah. So the inventor, Nick, who's not here with us today, he experienced that about 4 years ago when his daughter was 3 months old.
Something clicked.
And thought, need to do something about this. So he did one night, literally got up, thought, I'm going to do something. Stripped out an old printer, got the motor, a battery and the small circuit, and put it all together, put it on his pushchair, and it worked.
So you got a motor from a printer? Is that actually how it started?
So took an old Epson printer apart.
But yeah, it was. Then he showed it to Matt one Christmas, didn't he?
Yeah. So Nick's my brother-in-law. He's a sort of physicist. I was a product design teacher. He knew that obviously I had a background in design. Showed the prototype to me, and I was like, wow, it's fantastic. So we spent Christmas Googling, is there anything else quite like that on the market? Couldn't find anything like it. And I then contacted Matt, and we worked together on the sort of branding, design, literally in the pub, scribbling on beer mats, and came up with the Rockit, and that's how it was born, really.
It's so cool. There's a lot of people watching this that either have an idea for a product or they're at that early, rough, raw stage, and they want to move on to the next stage, which is obviously refining. That's it, isn't it? So you come up with the idea and then you build it, and then you have to refine it. Did you made prototypes yourselves, and how did that work in the beginning?
Yeah, I mean, initially I was still working as a teacher, so I'd work late. Don't tell the school. I'd work late, use their 3D printers.
Yeah. No, you didn't use your own one.
I used my own one. Sorry.
Yeah, disclaimer.
But then eventually, after about a month, I thought, no, this, I've got to put 100% effort into this. Quit my day job as a teacher. Bought some 3D printers, and between Matt and myself, we worked on the branding, the design. Nick was instrumental in terms of the technology inside.
Yeah, of course.
So we got to a stage where we had something we could show people. Obviously, we had to protect the IP, so we were working on that.
That's true as well.
At the same time, but we were able to then start entering competitions. There were a couple of competitions we entered, which really then helped us kickstart.
Just on the IP thing, is it protected? Is it?
Yeah, so we've got patent pending on it. We've also got the PCT, which gives us protection for 18 months worldwide until we then work out which territories we're going to be selling into.
Oh, right, okay.
But probably,
what's that called again, sorry?
It's a PCT.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Well, one of the most important things about the product, not just its functionality, but the name, and so the trademark. I think what Matt was about to say is the trademark's key to it all,
of course.
because of the name and what it does. We wanted to protect that, and so pretty much worldwide it's protected now through trademarks.
Yeah, a lot of people get that fear, and any product people that we speak to that don't come on the show because they're not doing it yet, but they have this fear of showing it to anybody. That's what we keep coming across. I wanted to protect it, and then a lot of times they're at that stage where they probably need to start showing people. Because
you do need some validation. I mean, the important thing is that you think it's a good idea, and lots of people tell you it's a good idea, especially friends and family. Yeah. But you need validation from those people who not just buy it, but actually sell it. So the buyers who buy for the high streets, and it's those people who you need to get in front of really to get that kind of validation. And we did that fairly early on, a couple of years ago, with an earlier version of this, and it got such a great reception from key buyers from Mothercare, Babies R Us, and John Lewis. All the big ones really loved it, and so that gave us that impetus then to fully.
To really
it
drive
was
on.
protected in a fairly we'd protected the trademark in Europe at that stage because we thought that was important. But then from that point, we then started to protect it in a wider.
These are manufactured in China.
Yes, yeah.
And that's where a lot of people have a fear about being replicated, and that's obviously why the IP and the trademark, as you say, is so important. What was it like? Because we've actually interviewed a company before, and they just had an absolute nightmare trying to like logistics wise and getting across what the product needs to be to manufacturers in China. What way did you guys navigate?
We were really lucky in that we'd been on the Design Council Spark Accelerator, so we'd done that accelerator program and actually got funding from that. Whilst we were on the program, we had a mentor who was a toy designer that worked for a big invention house in London, and he had a fantastic network of contacts for us. So, we before we met him, we were literally Googling, manufacturers in China and trying to work out, who's a good one, trying to get referrals from people. It was a complete nightmare, but he gave us a fantastic contact at a big factory that produces for some of the top toy manufacturers in the world. So we knew we had a good sort of manufacturing partner.
Of course.
Did go out to Hong Kong, their head office is in Hong Kong. But they were English speaking, which obviously made the communication much easier. But even then it was, I think I probably sent nearly 1,000 emails backwards and forwards with PDFs with, slight design changes, things that we weren't quite happy with. It was, a time-consuming process.
Yeah, but worth it in the end, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the things that people do get caught up with is the manufacturing and not knowing where to go. But I think certainly if you can get to trade shows or that sort of thing and network, you'll meet lots of people at the trade shows. So lots of people who want to, help. You've got to filter people out. But also as Matt mentioned, the Design Council is a fantastic program that they run yearly, which you can enter. I think it's December time. Okay. You can enter, but they then shortlist for the February, and we were lucky enough to get that and start in the April. So they've started a new cohort now, but it's for products,
Brilliant. And you need that support.
Yeah, and they give you funding, and then there's if you win after 5 months, which we did, we got a good share, which enabled us to take it to that stage. And as Matt said, people within that you get introduced to loads of people, and our mentor luckily was key to it all, really. But those sorts of things, not everyone knows about them.
No, we'll actually link that below. Design Council, we'll link the website below.
But it's a fantastic resource to have, and we were lucky enough to. But I think because we had quite a visually quite striking product, even in its early stages. When Matt and I first took it to the Design Council, it didn't really look like that. So but they loved the concept, and it looked great because it was built on a 3D printer and it was finished well. So it looked and worked well. So
the bit that's probably one of the most interesting bits is getting in front of the large sellers. Obviously you talk about the validation. One, how do you even get in front? Because there must be queues of people that just want to go into to big retailers like that.
I mean, we won another competition, which was a trade competition from the Nursery Association Trade Award. It was an innovation award. So we as a prize for that, we got a stand at a big trade show up in Harrogate. Okay. So we had our idea protected. We took it up and exhibited there, and we met those buyers on that stand. We didn't pay for the stand. It was part of the prize.
That's where you met
and it's a 3-day show, and as Matt said, the Baby Products Association, another good organisation that you can enter competitions, which is essentially what we did. And got to be the finalists, and then all the big buyers turn up, and for 3 days our stand was mobbed, because people get wind of it and start telling people go and have a look at
that. I was fully expecting to hear a bang your head against a brick wall story to try and get in, but that's like to a trade show.
I mean, we were so lucky, really. I mean, credit to our distributor as well. We found a really good distributor who they're called Baby Style. They manufacture the egg pushchair, which is a real premium designer pushchair, and they obviously have very good relationships with those big high street multiples, and so they did a massive job as well in terms of giving us that kudos. I mean, we were a small company. By working with Baby Style, a very big distributor, we were able to, probably get in there a lot quicker than had we been on our own, even though they love the product.
Yeah. I think it's important to say as well that, as I mentioned, lots of people will come to the stand and promise you an awful lot of things, and it's wise to sort of take a step back after having done a show like that and really do your research. And we went and we sat with probably 5 or 6 distributors who had expressed an interest in selling it for us, and they all promise an awful lot, but you have to do a lot of research, which we did, and you almost interview the distributors to find out who's going to represent you,
the best.
And Baby Style from a very early on were, we saw and liked what they did. I mean, they're not a traditional distributor because they're actually manufacturing pushchairs, but they right from the get-go said that's going to be great, and backed us, So we were fortunate in that sense. But as I said, you will get a lot of people promise you a lot of
sun, moon and stars.
And you have to. That's doing these shows is really good because you get to meet lots of people in the same position who will say, oh yeah, I've had such and such an experience with them. I mean, it's not always going to be the same for you, but it's good to talk to.
But it's nice to kind of test it and see and find out of other people. There's, just before we wrap up, you guys are doing a crowdfunding campaign at the moment. So where can they? We'll link it below. But how's that going so far?
It's going really well. We're bowled over with it. Really, it's 10 days in. We're 85% funded already. So we're looking for 200,000 investment, and it's really flown. So, but obviously we're still looking for other investors. I mean, we're really keen to do Crowdcube campaign because obviously we get the brand advocates on board, and more people that invest, the more brand
fans for life.
Fans you've got, and
absolutely.
Such
We'll link that up below. Anyone wants to check it out, please do. To Matt, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Guys, thank you so much for watching this morning. We have FinTech Friday on tomorrow. Make sure you check that out. Thank you, Sage, for our sponsors. Thank you, Rockit, for coming in. Have a really good Thursday, guys. Thank you so much. Bye bye.